Thank you for taking some time for yourself. And before you begin this relaxing experience, if you can close your eyes and begin to connect to the sensation of your breath. Deep breath in and a relaxing breath out. Aware of your chest expanding. And relaxing. The sound of your breath, the light noises outside as you go deeper into this experience. And I'm curious if you've noticed the space of your external environment. Gravity resting on the surface of your skin. Your body relaxing into the chair. Supporting you into this experience. And there are so many things out there. Life's baloney. The planets, stars, galaxy. And I really don't know the last time you got to leave the silly world out there. To be here. Thank you for being here. You make the world a better place. And the truth is, I never really know what level of experience clients are capable of giving themselves. If they listen closely or from a distance, connect with their inner voice. Or connect with the situation I represent. But whatever you are, or whatever you are doing, you can leave it behind. Everything of importance. And I really don't know if you will know but not know. But as you and I both know, that's available to you, isn't it? And you can wonder how good to feel on the outside. Or enjoy growing that sensation on the inside. And it reminds me of a tomato plant. And you might think, why talk about a tomato plant? But one puts a tomato seed in the ground. And one can hope It will bring satisfaction, comfort, and joy. But the plant doesn't feel comfortable and peaceful. As it grows, because it's so comfortable. But if such a plant had feelings, as it grows, as tiny little tomatoes begin to form, because as you might already know, a tomato plant just flourishes day after day, little by little, moment by moment. And I'm not sure you're aware how special you are. No one else has your wisdom, your strength, your DNA, your view of the world. And until the end of time, there'll never be anyone exactly the same as you. That's how special you are. And in the past, maybe you've been diagnosed with insomnia, or you haven't been sleeping, or something else. And the good news is hypnosis has had fabulous success with sleep and insomnia. But there's a process to it. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you a few stories. And at first, you might be thinking, why am I sharing with you these stories? But your subconscious mind will be listening and do something wonderful for you a little later on. And I wonder if you can remember a time when you felt completely nourished. I don't know if it was when you were sick and you made yourself better by drinking grandma's soup. Or if you ate a bunch of fruit and vegetables. Or maybe you had a great first date. You felt nourished, full, happy. Replenished. And it reminds me of Bruce Lipton in his book, The Biology of Belief. In 1952, a British doctor had made a mistake. Dr. Albert Manson tried to treat a 15-year-old covered in wart, and only the skin on his chest was normal, fleshy pink skin. It was a tough case. His skin was more like an elephant's skin. And Dr. Manson treated his warts with hypnosis and told him his arm would soon recover. And his skin soon healed on his arm and then all over his body. And the boy's skin returned to normal skin, healthy, pink and fleshy. And when Dr. Manson met the doctor who had tried to treat his patient previously with skin graft, he learnt he had made a medical mistake. The boy didn't have warts. The boy had a lethal genetic disease called genital ichthyosis. And what Manson had accomplished was, until that time, was considered impossible. Manson shared his research with medical journals, but everyone said it was impossible. People with genital ichthyosis flocked to his medical practice to be treated. But unfortunately, Mason could no longer get the same result. Mason understood that this was because he could just no longer be that young, cocky doctor who assumed it was just war. And how is it that our mind can override our genetic programming? And some people believe if we set a goal and have desires, wishes and aspirations, that will be enough. But the truth is, your subconscious mind is derived from instincts and learned experiences. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced someone leaving the lid off the toothpaste, using the last of the milk in the fridge, or borrowing your car and it's returned with no fuel. On the inside, you go ballistic. And that is because you've hardwired yourself with certain behaviour, like making sure there's enough hot water for the next person in your family to have a shower. And when these situations arise, it's like out of nowhere the subconscious pops up. And maybe your subconscious mind is about 1,000,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. And if its values are in conflict with each other, which mind do you think will win? And as you already know, you can lie here trying to fall asleep with positive affirmation that you will fall asleep, or you'll wake up energized. But you and I both know we aren't always running our lives from our conscious mind. And some research suggests that the subconscious mind possibly shapes 95% of our experience. And as you already know, you can reshape it using hypnosis, body-centered therapy, energy, psychology, affirmation. But as you probably know, if you were to stand in front of a painting, everyone would describe it differently. And yet somehow, we all use language to represent our experience, thinking, visual, feeling. And our nervous system is responsible for producing our representational system of the world. And in Richard Bandler and John Grinder's book, The Structure of Magic, on the surface, someone could say investigating FBI agents can be dangerous. But there's a deep structure to language. Somehow our subconscious mind and nervous system figures out all of the finer detail. Somehow the deeper structure is FBI agents who are conducting investigations can be dangerous for someone. For someone to investigate FBI agents can be dangerous for someone. Just the other day, I was listening to Gordon Young, the Australian hypnotist, who was explaining that if one of his clients believes that life is going well because somehow the universe has aligned, like they were thinking about a friend and they called, and he's happy to not challenge that belief unless it's not working for them. In other words, they're in debt, they're living at home with their parents, they don't have a job. This way of viewing the world isn't working. Because haven't we all experienced not thinking about someone and they called? Thinking about someone and they haven't called? Not thinking about someone and they haven't called? And thinking about someone and they've called? And in a moment, I'm going to ask your conscious mind to communicate with your subconscious to ensure your model of the world, language, images, sound, are all in agreement with each other so you can sleep at night, okay? I want to ask that part of your conscious mind that believes it can't sleep, why it can't sleep. Now I want to ask your subconscious mind if there's anything your conscious mind needs to know. Now asking your subconscious mind what its true intention was. I don't know if it was keeping you up so you would be more organised for work the next day, or if you needed to write a to-do list for the week, or if you just needed to let your subconscious know you were listening. But what I do know is you will get an answer. Now I want to ask your conscious mind to let your subconscious mind know you've listened. And take the time now to let your subconscious mind know how you'd like to sleep, how fast you'd like to fall asleep, how many hours you would like to sleep, and why it's important. And once you know your subconscious mind has listened, you can thank it for its time. Maybe in the past, you were just trying to nourish your conscious mind. But a wise man once said, your subconscious mind is like a bank, a sort of universal financial institution. It magnifies whatever you deposit. And I wonder how your deposit feels now. Now, I don't know if you feel more relaxed, relieved, or something else. But what I do know is you can say goodbye to that old version of you. And I'm curious if you're grateful for any of the tantrums your subconscious mind used to have about sleep. Or if you've learned how insanely passionate it was about communicating with you. Maybe in the past you just forgot how responsive you are, your ability to respond to your responsibility. And I wonder in 10 years' time from now, looking back, how easy it was to fall asleep. No matter if you were tired, you were exhausted, or you couldn't squeeze in enough sleeping time. Yet somehow, you were sensible about it. When you're ready to take your sensibility back to your external world, you can stretch out, wriggle your fingers and toes, and open your eyes. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are.